Hello and welcome to Trying Times. My name is Carmen, and if you're new here, then welcome. I hope you're having a wonderful day, evening, whenever you're listening to this, really. I hope it's going good. And if it's not, I just want you to know that I really appreciate you. And if it is still going good, then I mean I still appreciate you. But thank you so much for tuning in and sharing this time with me. I'm just gonna give you a heads up. If I'm a little scatterbrained today, it's probably because my dog is napping literally right beside me, which, like, is just so calming, and I feel like I can't really focus, so this should be interesting. Also, shout outs to Leo for the progress that he's made because, like, a year ago when I would try to sit down and record, I physically would have to pause every, like, 5 to 10 minutes because 'cause he'd be barking or he would need something, and now he's turning into a distinguished little man, so thank you, Leo, for just, being you. But yeah, if my thoughts are a little all over the place, it's probably because of that. Going off of that, I will say this episode and the overall theme of what I'm going to be talking about is a little different compared to the other ones I've done. It's something that sort of just popped into my head and I guess came to mind for me a little while ago when I was cleaning up my room. I feel like I'm constantly trying to declutter, or if I'm trying to keep things from when I was like younger, I try to have like a specific area to put those things, kind of like store them so that when I'm older, I can look at them and be like, oh my God, I remember that. One of the things I stumbled across was a stack of magazines that I'd collected when I was very much in my preteen years. So, what is that? Like, I don't know, 10 to 13 years old, I think, or 9 to 12. I don't remember what the actual age bracket for that is, but it was in those years. And some of these were magazines called Tiger Beat, J14, and then a few others that I genuinely don't even think they make anymore. I feel like there was like one called Pop Beat or something like that. It sounds very much like AI just threw the name together. And yeah, but those were the best. So seeing those, I kind of sat down and I flipped through a couple of them. And I noticed a few things, but it was always a focus on the most popular artists or singers, and most of all, quote unquote, heartthrobs at that very moment in time. And alongside those icons, if you will, they always had these little quizzes that you would have to filter through to figure out pretty much the most random shit. And I remember loving these so much, and it made me feel like, oh my God, why don't I have anything like this now? And I guess if I had to compare those quizzes to something now, it would probably be like a BuzzFeed quiz or something like that in that sense. Because yeah, I feel like there's just not a lot of those out there anymore. Or maybe I'm just blind to it and I forgot about them till now. That's also very possible. But some of those would basically be like, "Oh, what's your party personality?" or "What is your best type of style?" or whatever, like the most random things. And one of my ultimate favorite ones at that point in time for a quiz was who should you crush on? And it was basically like the outcome was one of the most popular celebrities at the time. One of them probably being like one of the Jonas Brothers, if not all the Jonas Brothers, or One Direction, if not one or two of the members of One Direction out of like three or four possible outcomes you could have. And I just love it because these quizzes were always so random and just lighthearted fun. And when I think back on it, genuinely at that age, I really remember finding some form of entertainment and joy in them because they were just good at providing just that joy and entertainment. And what I'm about to say is going to age me. I'm about to age myself here. But at that point in time in my life, yes, we had phones, we had cell phones, but smartphones were not a thing, and social media was not a thing, from what I remember. It was not a thing at the time. I remember specifically, like Instagram, for instance, did not come out till I was in my first or second year of high school. So, like grade 9 or grade 10. So, yeah, we were like on the cusp of getting there, but we didn't really have it like that. So, at this point in time, I feel like a lot of us, and by us I mean myself and probably a lot of other preteens also, resorted to this sort of thing for fun. And I feel like it just got me thinking, like, what were these quizzes really saying about us as kids, essentially, or preteens, I guess? And albeit it wasn't lighthearted fun, but if you ever took one of those quizzes, especially one of those who should you crush on quizzes and didn't land on your celebrity crush, that was crushing. Genuinely crushing. Like you would do anything to land on that. Let me backtrack a little bit because I feel like if you've listened thus far and you're like, what the hell are these quizzes? I'll describe them a little bit better. You might know what I'm talking about if you too were heavy into those. And if you don't, the best comparison I could give you is a BuzzFeed quiz. That's literally the only thing that keeps coming to mind for me. They were basically these short and simple to follow quizzes that you could fill out, and it would apparently state something about you at the end of it. So, again, if you don't know what a BuzzFeed quiz is, it's something of a very random topic. It could be like, what style is best for you? Kind of like what I said earlier. Or what lipstick shade might be the best for you? Or which of these musicians might be your favorite? And then it could like introduce you to a new musician or something like that. But it was very random and yeah, it was basically just this super short, simple to follow quiz that you could do. It was always based on the most random array of topics, but somehow there was always something for someone since they were pretty specific to a niche, I feel. And some could be like, what's your favorite type of coffee? It was just the most random. It could be about anything, but it was this sort of like mindless type of thing that you could do for a quick few seconds of fun. And yeah, that's the only way I can describe it. I feel like you get what I'm describing now, and I hope you do because I literally have no other way of describing it if I'm being honest. I got nothing. But so as I'm cleaning my room, back to square one here. As I'm cleaning my room, I'm seeing all of these for the first time again in many, many, many years. I'm aging myself, and it just felt so wholesome because it was just very unserious. And honestly, at that age, you might actually take it a little seriously, like I said. I genuinely cannot find the exact one that I came across, but I remember when the Jonas Brothers were first on the scene and they were in literally every single thing, every single magazine. A bunch of those quizzes were actually like focused around them. And there was one where it was like, which Jonas brother is the best for you? Or something really ridiculous along those lines. And I was out here fighting, because in case you can't tell, my biggest crush in my childhood, and honestly, probably still one of my biggest crushes now as an adult, is Joe Jonas. But I was out here fighting to get any chance of my end result or my answer being Joe. I just wanted it to be Joe. And even though you could see the very clearly like chosen answers or pathway that could lead you to Joe, it was like this whole charade you would put on where you'd be like, I don't know, maybe I want to choose this or this. You would just end up choosing the answers that led to the conclusion you wanted, obviously. But since there were so many different things and it was like this web of a quiz you had to go through, it was just like, I don't know, like maybe, oh, maybe I'll choose this one. It's like, oh, what's your favorite candy? This one. Clearly, you chose it because you could see it goes to Joe. Clearly. And I feel like in a dream world, it's just like, oh, it's just however it goes. No, it was all premeditated. We all knew what we were doing. And I have honestly some pretty solid memories of going through these quizzes with some friends because it's just genuinely so funny to think on. Like there's so many times where we would just do this stuff and not even like think twice, but it was just like, yeah, oh yeah, I love this. And I think the most special part is when you would finish the quiz and it would give you your answer. So, like I said, if you're doing like the Jonas Brothers one, for instance, it's like, oh, who's the best Jonas brother for you? Me, obviously, clearly choosing the path that leads to Joe. It would give you like the photo and then obviously be like, oh my God, you'd be perfect with Joe. And then after that, it would have a little brief underneath, like you whatever your answer was. And it would always be something like, you both love fun, parties, and know how to have a great time. Like, it would essentially say so much, but nothing all at the same time. And I think that was my favorite part. And it was the most wholesome part because it's just like, what are we really doing here? You know? But these were simpler times where, like, we didn't have granted quote unquote access to the celebrities that we like or have that idea of like a parasocial relationship. This was all just in lighthearted fun. And I appreciated that I think the most out of everything. So I feel like along with the answer that you would get, like the final answer, I got to pause along the way to really appreciate the prompts and choices that the magazines would offer as well, because they were always created of like the most random facts that tabloids would have on these celebrities. They would literally gather the most random facts and then they'd be like, okay, this needs to be part of the quiz now because we know this about them. We quote unquote know this about this person. So a question could literally ask, like I said earlier, which candy is your favorite? And the options will be either like sour candy or chocolate. And it doesn't even have to be like a specific thing or any more specific than that. It was just that. Like, that was it. And basically, if your favorite at that time, by your favorite, I mean like whoever your crush was in that quiz, mine, for instance, Joe. But it's like if your favorite at that time didn't like chocolate, then the other choice that you had, the only other choice that you had to pick was candy. And I kind of loved that it was that simple. Like it was just that simple. Overall, it was just great. And in case you couldn't tell, clearly my biggest crush literally was Joe Jonas. And I just thought it was funny because like this was something that we all got so used to. And then once we all got into like other outlets and started to get older, then BuzzFeed quizzes came up and it was just so much more and more elaborate as time went on. So I thought it would be funny to take a quiz like right now as I'm recording this and see what this vibe is like now and what this all says about me. So I've already picked a quiz and I unfortunately could not find one about who my crush should be. So I decided to try this one from 17 magazine called What Song Describes Your Love Life? And I'm going to walk you through all my answers as I do this. This could either be really depressing or it could be really fun. And I'm hoping it's the second one, but I have a feeling it may be the latter. So let's see what we get. I think if it's just like it deems me the most super single and like depressed person, that would be a little bit sad, but that's fine. That's fine. Let's just see what we get, okay? So, the first question is, if you could only listen to one type of music for the rest of your life, what would it be? And my options are top 40 hits or R&B. I'm gonna pick R&B. Let's go with that. Okay. Question 2. Who would your celebrity BFF be? Oh my God, fun. Nick Jonas, because he'd take you to a star-studded party, or Harry Styles, because he could fly you to London for a weekend of sightseeing. Ooh. Okay, I'm sorry, Joe, but I'm not picking your brother. I'm gonna pick Harry Styles. And I'm sorry, Nick. I really, really like London, so we are going to pick Harry. The following question says, which trend do you want to try out at prom? Okay, so I think I'm a little too old for this one, in case it wasn't a given already. But yeah, prom was a minute ago for me. So my options are sequins everywhere. Prom should be the most glam night of your life, right? Or the minimalist look. Sometimes less is more. I'm gonna go with minimalist. Okay. The next question is, what best describes your current relationship situation? Single and happy. Who needs a relationship when you have such fire friendships? Okay. And then sorry, the other option is you're deep, deep in all caps, by the way. You're deep in your feelings at this point. Ooh, I wonder what result I'll get if I pick the first one, which I am picking. Not to brag, but I do have some fire friendships, so I'm gonna go with that one. Okay, the next one. Oh, okay, good. We have another one about prom. It's been so long since I went to prom. I don't want to give you the actual math and like number of years, but it's been long since I went to prom. Okay, the question is, who do you want to go to prom with? Ooh, this is going to be a tough one, but my choices are your besties. You always have such a blast together. Yeah, no shit, I just said. I got like fire friendships. Or you're sort of bae. Dot dot dot, fingers crossed. I love this array of options, by the way, because it's literally one or the other. And the whole premise of the quiz is like, what song is going to describe my love life? Let's see what this ends with. So I'm obviously going to pick my besties because that sounds like a solid time. And truthfully, I did go to prom with my best friends and I did have the best time. with my best friends. So it only feels genuine to pick that one. Okay, next one. Your favorite place to listen to music is alone in your room so you can blast the volume. Or, oh, or my other option is at prom while dancing with someone special. See, we're really feeling prom in this one. It's really making me age myself. Not once, not twice, but just time and time again. So I'm gonna go with the first one, alone in my room. Is it giving single vibes yet? Let's see. Oh, okay, we're at my last question. Oh, no, wait. No, we have a few. Never mind. Okay, I lied. We're getting into the nitty-gritty of it. Here we go. This question asks, your last relationship ended either not too long ago, or you can't remember exactly your current relationship or crush is what matters now. Okay, we're gonna go with number two. Okay, this question is a really, really solidifying one, okay? What's your opinion on One Direction? This is the type of question that I've been waiting for. My options are they're awesome and Niall is cute, or you always thought they'd be better as solo artists. Ooh, controversial. I'm gonna go with number one. I love their music independently as well, but hello, bring back the group. It's fine. Anyways, okay, next one. What's your dream vacation? A tropical vacation to Mexico or a romantic trip to Europe? I'm gonna be quite frank here. I don't really care for the romance of it all, but I love Europe, so Europe all the way. Oh, here we go. Last question. Okay. Think back to the last time you cried. Okay, sorry. Think back to the last time you cried. It was because one, you got in an awful fight with your best friend, or two, you and your bae hit a rough patch. Okay, so personally, neither of these. But if I did have to choose one, I'm picking number one because that would hurt me. I don't want to get in a fight with my best friend. And not even just a fight, an awful fight. So, okay, my results are based on which side of answers I chose the most. So the left side or right side. And out of the 10 questions, I chose five answers on the left and five answers on the right. So basically, we just did this together. We went on this ride for fun, for inconclusivity. And my two possible outcomes were the two songs that I could have gotten. One being Confident by Demi Lovato, which says, the girl power jam is exactly what you need right now. An anthem that celebrates you in all caps, not you in the context of a relationship. You're happy with being single. Worrying about dating anyone would just drag you down right now. Okay, or the second option, Pillow Talk by Zayn, which says, you're head over heels, you've found someone seriously special, so savor your time with them. Just don't forget to nurture your relationships with your friends, fam, and yes, yourself. Wowee. What magazine is this again? Thank you so much, 17. That was a hoot. What a solid selection of outcomes here. I feel like as a preteen, these were some hard-hitting realizations, but as an adult, this is pretty underwhelming. But I can still appreciate it for what it is. And to be honest, I love both those songs. So we're all good here. I've had both those songs on many, many playlists, so I'm content. And I feel like again, this could be something that maybe at a younger age made you feel closer to that celebrity in a way and probably even made them seem like more relatable to you. In this instance, I mean, Nick Jonas is either taking me to a star-studded party or Harry's flying me out to London and taking me sightseeing. So I feel like maybe that's not the most relatable, but in other contexts and in other quizzes, maybe then it seemed a little bit more relatable. But again, as I mentioned earlier, this was all very much in a time existing prior to that whole concept of parasocial relationships. And so the whole arc of existing so strongly online and really existing in that way was not really a thing yet. And I think this is what deemed all of this to be even more important and made it seem even a little more serious at a younger age, if that makes any sense. Like, this was all in a time before we were posting online or before we were able to quote unquote talk to our favorite celebrities. And in a sense, I felt like a little bit of a prelude to that stage. So, yeah, I feel like now we have more access to people and celebrities than ever before, and I just feel like this is such a reminiscent and sweet time to think about and enjoy. And I honestly can say I think I kind of prefer it. So, yeah, I just that's all I got for you today. And I hope this made you laugh. Or hopefully you go and deep dive and find some quizzes because yeah, this shit's fun. So, yeah, I just want to say thank you so much if you listen to this and for being here. I genuinely really really appreciate you. And I hope you're having a wonderful day or night again whenever you're listening to this. If you do go on a hunt for quizzes and you find some that you love or have tried out recently, please feel free to send those my way because I think this has made me realize how much I enjoy doing this and I miss doing these kind of quizzes. I'd much rather kill 10 minutes of doing quizzes than scrolling through Instagram, I think. And that's just the truth for me. So, yeah, thank you so much for listening. Again, if you find any quizzes or anything you want to share with me, please feel free to share that with me on Instagram. I know I just shit talked Instagram, but that's where you have to send it to me. Please feel free to share on Instagram at the Trying Times Podcast. I'd appreciate that. And I appreciate you. So, yeah, thank you so much. And we'll chat again soon, okay? Bye.